Welcome to our conversation today with Waterstone Wellness Ministry, and of course we have Miss Frankie Cook with us.
Yay!
Miss Frankie is from Abba's Heart Counseling, but she's also a member of our Waterstone Wellness Counseling team. And today we're going to be talking about just healthy emotions through the seasons. Now the seasons can be anytime. I mean, we're going through seasons of life, always different stages and phases, but we're looking at the holidays coming up. And many times we have expectations. There's that word again.
Yes.
So we're going to be talking about the expectations of how we should be feeling emotionally and what are some healthy ways. Just some healthy things that we can kind of ask ourselves as we start processing our emotions through the holidays.
Yeah.
So what do you think in your practice when you're talking to somebody about healthy emotions? Just give us a guideline. What is healthy emotions? What does that mean to you?
So for healthy emotions, it can mean a lot of things, because a healthy emotion is, first off, understanding your emotion, right? Because a lot of us will shove or stuff, sweep it under the rug. You know, some of the things like Pastor Ron talked about, sweeping under the rug till there's a mound in the relationship conversation. And so it's just noticing your emotions, because emotions in themselves are not bad.
Right.
They're feelings, they're thoughts, and it's when you act on them that can cause the unhealthy response.
Right, because we can have certain expectations of what the holidays should look like.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe our family should respond like this, or maybe it's going to look like this.
Yeah.
Well, it may be different,
Yeah.
and that's okay. But as long as we're handling ourselves in a healthy manner, courteous, being courteous, but then also being able to really understand why we do what we do.
Right.
So if you were to tell a family that's maybe going back, they're getting all the family together for the holidays, and they're like having a little bit of anxiety, what are maybe 3 steps that they could kind of talk to themselves about before they step in to that family dynamic?
I think first it's noticing the anxiety. Where is it in your body? Noticing how you feel, noticing what the anxiety is coming from. Is it coming from something in your childhood? Maybe if you are bringing your family in, are you turning back to something that may or may not have been who you are these days? You might have healed or felt like you healed, but it's kind of this triggering response that you're feeling inside of you. The other thing would be maybe journal what you're feeling, so it's out on paper, so it's not in your head to where it becomes an eruption.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about that. I mean, just journaling daily.
Yeah.
I know for myself, I try to journal before I teach a Bible study or anything like that the night before.
Yeah.
Because just to be transparent, like whenever I come and I want to serve,
Yeah.
I want to make sure my emotions are healthy and I'm ready to be others-minded.
Yes.
Because I think all of us are a little selfish
All
in
of us.
and our own story, and I can walk into a study and start saying, I went through this and I went through this and it was like this. But if I go ahead and get all of that out on paper, it allows me to be able to better understand others.
Yeah.
And I think that would help as well when you're going into a family situation. If you've already kind of written out the stuff, you're able to kind of press in a little bit better.
Right. And over the holidays, there's so many expectations, especially with Christmas. It's a wonderful thing for us as Christians, but even on the outside of the church, you hear holly jolly Christmas, or whatever the happiness is, but happiness isn't always everybody's reality over the holidays. Some people are mourning. I know, to be transparent, the hardest time of my life was over the holiday season, and it's what do you do with that, or when you're grieving a lost loved one, or somebody that you thought was going to be the holidays, they're not there, or a family fight or a feud, and it's like, what do I do? And a lot of people turn to the unhealthy coping skills that we think about: alcohol, drugs, yelling, fighting, ignoring people. And it's like, what do you do in those moments when either that is what you used to turn to, or that's what you are like, I don't know what else to do because here's my family and they're all drunk.
Yes, and I think that goes back to healthy margin. Yeah. I mean, whenever you're talking right now, I keep on thinking, we have this expectation of, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to have this party, I got to be with this family. Yes. I think we really need to look at our schedule.
Yeah.
And I think we need to make a game plan before the holidays. Before we fill it up with all the fun
Right.
that we're required to have, what is a healthy schedule for your family?
Right.
I think that is something, I mean, I know that you help a lot of kids and families that have been through trauma.
Yeah.
As well as, therapy for kiddos. I think so many times nowadays we have overscheduled our kiddos.
Yes.
And we teach them to be on the rabbit wheel with us, and then as they get older, they continue on the rabbit wheel.
And they can't get off the rabbit wheel.
And they can't get off the rabbit wheel.
And I guess one of the things too is we tend to get upset with kids when they are acting out or they're crying or they're throwing a fit, and it's like, yeah, they're tired. If you overstress your kids or yourself and you're tired, they're tired.
Yes. And I think many times we get our identity through what we do.
Yeah.
And so many times we need to kind of take that step back.
Yeah.
And say, okay, holidays are coming. I know it's going to be busy, but let's just maybe cut back on this.
Mm-hmm.
We want to go do this fun activity as a family,
Yeah.
but I think we need to kind of set those guidelines before we get there.
Right. And it's the fear of missing out that people have too. It's like,
Yes.
oh, on Facebook they're doing this or they're doing this on Instagram, and it's like, know what's important to your family first.
Yes.
Like even write a list and then switch it around of importance and
Yes.
know like, okay, we have to go to so-and-so's house to spend time with them, or we have to go here. We're traveling.
Right.
If you're traveling, you're traveling. You can't do everything. We're not everywhere.
Yes, and I think that comes back. I think FOMO
Yeah.
is bigger now than ever before
Yes.
because of that insecurity of not being included.
Yes.
And I think that goes back to being trusting that God has your schedule.
Yeah.
God knows your calling.
Yes.
And He knows right where you are, even whenever we do miss out.
Yes.
And I think that's like a thing that adds into the season of just busyness or maybe not being able to filter.
Right.
Well, if you had anything that you would like to share with our Waterstone Wellness family regarding handling your emotions
Mhm.
through the seasons, what would you say?
I would say that the holiday seasons are stressful in general, good stress or bad stress, right? So keeping yourself on a schedule is a good thing, knowing what you want. If you work out, continue working out. You
Yes.
might eat a little more junk food, so you're gonna not be feeling great.
That's
so
right.
just kind of know yourself, know your limits, go to bed, sleep, get some rest,
Yes.
and if you need to journal, talk to a friend before an explosion ever
Gets there. Yeah. Well, thank you again, Frankie, for being
Yay.
with us. And Frankie's going to be with us for our Vitality Conversations.
Yes.
And that's going to be the first Sunday in November. You're going to join us at 4 o'clock here at our Longwood campus. And we will be just meeting in person in the worship
Yay.
center. And you are just going to be sharing more on this topic. But thank you again for being with
Yes.
us. If you would like to join us, just stay plugged in for our Vitality Conversations. We are scheduled out all the way through December 2023. And we also have a marriage conference coming up. It's the Expectations Marriage Conference. It's something that we hosted years ago, but we have had the passion to bring that back to you. And it'll be, of course, my husband Ron and myself, as well as, many speakers from our team of counselors. So mark your calendar.
Yay.
So join us, stay tuned, and stay on our events page for all the fun that is ahead. Again, thank you for being with us. Bye.
Bye.